This 5-minute scalping strategy I'm about to show you makes me $2,000 a day. And it's so good, I'm using it for life. So in this video, I'm breaking it down step by step, and I'm showing you live examples as well as 6 months worth of real results. So by the end of this, you can start using this strategy and become consistently profitable as well. So on the screen right now are the sessions and instruments that I trade this strategy on. But the first step of this strategy is finding your key levels. And these tell us exactly where we're allowed to take a trade at, and is basically the entire foundation of this trading strategy, which gives us the high win rate of about 60 to 75%. So key levels in the simplest form are areas on the chart where large numbers of passive orders are waiting, and on the chart they will look like sharp reversals, like V shapes, right? And that's basically what we're looking for. Are these key levels, right, where price has started reversing from, and you can see we have them up here as well. Okay, you can see there's been key reversals. However, what you might start to notice is that we've got a lot of them, and it can be difficult to pick one as a zone to trade from. So how do we pick a zone to trade from? Well, there's a secret to that as well. The secret to that is having a buddy candle, right? When you have multiple of these V shapes in one area, like we do over here, you can see we've got multiple of them. And if we zoom out even further, we can see that there is more of it down here. So essentially, this to me has support for the fact that this is a high probability zone to trade from. And why have I not picked any of these zones over here? Well, because they are within the range. We do not want to be trading within the range. We want to be trading on the extremities of the range. And so I chose an area where price has bounced multiple times and have multiple what I like to call buddy candles in the area, also going all the way back to down here. So we've got multiple supporting candles here to make it look as high probability as possible. So we've chosen these two zones. So now what are we looking for? The next step would be to look for the breakout on the 5-minute time frame. All this basically means is once price goes past this key level, I can look to start participating in these trades. But I don't want to enter just as soon as price breaks through this level. No. There are 3 confirmations that I need to see first. And these 3 confirmations I'm about to show you is what helped me make over $150,000 that I've made trading this strategy. And it helps me avoid losses where it feels like price instantly reverses once you enter. And the first confirmation you want to see is that the 5-minute time frame is above or below the 50 simple moving average. So as you can see on my chart here, there's this blue line. It is the 50 simple moving average. So all you're going to do is go to indicators and type in moving average, and then you're going to add the moving average and then click on simple. Okay, so you can see here we've just got the SMA, all right, and then you're going to set the length to 50. This simple moving average, the rule is that price needs to be below on the 5-minute time frame if we're looking for sells, and price needs to be above if we are looking to take buys. That is the first confluence that we look at. Now, the next confirmation is crucial to actually making the strategy work. The next thing we want to see is price actually breaking and closing below in this example. So if we have price breaking and closing below, we can then look for potential sells. And then if price breaks and closes above, we can look for potential buys. Okay, but the candle must close. There must be a candle body closure like this or like this before we can move on to the next confluence. Now, once we've had those candles close, okay, then we're looking for one last thing. And the last confirmation after the 5-minute candle body closes at that level is you want to look for price to come back down and touch that level again. And this is called the retest. So simply we want price to come back down, touch the level level again, or come back up, touch the level again, before we can then get involved in trades. Okay, so this is an actual real example of a trade that we took in real time, and we are going to be going through trades in real time. Now, once price breaks and closes, like in this example, we've got price pushing below. As you can see here, we have not quite yet broken and closed below. You can see we do it with the very next candle. So you can see the candle body has closed below. We can then get involved. We use a between 20 and 25 point stop on the NASDAQ, okay? And we look for a 1-to-2 risk reward ratio. So once it retests, we would get involved as it taps on here. So we get tagged in and we go all the way to our profit target here at 1-to-2 risk reward ratio. So for example, on this trade, if we risked $1,000 here, our reward here would have been $2,000, okay? Because it is a 1-to-2 risk reward ratio. When I first started trading, the biggest thing that helped me improve was going through lots of examples. So we're going to go through a couple other examples that I took live on stream with my private community so that you can learn about how the strategy works more and that you can save literally months of time and mistakes. All right, so here we are on another example. We've got the range right here and we're looking for our V shapes. So once again, we've got V shapes in here. We've got one right here that was used as a support and a resistance once again. If we zoom out even further, we can see that down here, there is more resistance. So what I did was we made this our resistance zone over here. Okay, let me just adjust this slightly. And this would have been the upper part of the range that we would have been looking for positions in. Okay, and again, what we are looking for is for price for sells to break below this 50 SMA. Okay, and obviously for buys, we're currently already above the 50 SMA, so we could have looked for buys if we broke and closed above this and then got the retest. Remember, it's 3 steps. We're looking at the SMA, we're looking at price to break out, and then we're looking for price to retest. Those 3 steps is all we need to look at. So in this case, we had price break and close below the zone, which also was below the 50 SMA, which is right here. Okay, and then we can get involved with this trade. We would then enter in once we retest the zone for a 1-to-2 risk reward ratio. So we then retest the zone and push lower. And there you go, we hit our full 1-to-2 risk reward on this trade. So let's have a look at another example of this playing out. Righty, so here's another example here, folks. So essentially, we're looking again at a range and we're looking at getting the top and the bottom of the range. So quite clearly here, we've had a huge reaction, okay? And this was on the open, okay? So you can see here, this is a 1530. So my zone would have been here before open and the open would have happened. And what you would have seen here is that it spikes here and takes out a bunch of orders at the top and then pushes lower. So that's a really nice sign for me. It means that when price breaks out of this lower zone, which we marked on as here, because we've got a lot of buddy candles in and around this area. We've had reactions here, 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 and here, okay? And we're relatively on the extremity. We're below the 50 SMA. And as you can see, the next condition is met because we've broken and closed below. So the next condition will be for price to retest our zone. So we would enter on the retest of the zone right here with a 25 pip stop loss like so. Once again, sometimes it's 20 when the volatility is lower, but to be safe, we'll go with 25. I believe that's what we went with on the day. And then we tap in there and then we push down to go to our full 1-to-2 risk reward target. So those are some examples of the trades playing out. And as I say, every single day, I live stream this strategy with our private community in our inner circle. So we're going to go over some of our 6 months results of trading this strategy live next. So you can see how much money you could have made trading this strategy for 6 months straight. Right, so here are all of our trade results with trading this exact strategy on the DAX in London session and the NASDAQ in New York session. So we record our wins and losses and post them all here. Now, these aren't just random things that we post, they have proof behind it because we've actually recorded all of these trades and we post them every single day, post the recordings here in our Discord channel. If you go look on this link here, we've got an archive going all the way back to last year with our trade recordings that shows every single trade we've taken. So based on those trades that we've taken, here are the results that we have. So we post them every single month and every single week as well. And you can see each trade that we've taken. So if we look here on the spreadsheet, which just shows our all-time results going all the way back to June last year, let's have a look at this here. So in January, we kind of came out basically flat. You can see here, week 1, we had one. If you were risking 1%, we would have made 1% for week 1. Week 2, we made about 4% if you were risking 1%, of course. And then week 3 and 4, we were down 4 and down 2. Okay, so we came out -1 in January. Then for February, week 1 was 8%, week 2 was -0.3, and then week 3 was 1%, and then week 4 was -2. So if you do the maths on that, you're up about 5.5% for February. Okay, and you can see here, this is the number, this is what you would have made if you were risking $1,000 per trade and you were on a 100K prop account. Then on March, okay, you can see week 1, 1%, week 2, 5%, week 3, 2%, week 4, 4%, and then the last bit was 1%. So here, if you do the maths, 5, 7, 12, 13% for March, really, really good. April, we made about 5%. 2 weeks, we were flat in April. And then in May, we were break even. Now, if you go and look even further, we can look all the way up till now. You can see that here in June, we were 4% up the month. And you can see here, like we posted previously, in May, we were flat for the month. So those are real results with this trading strategy, guys. So you can actually see us trading live. This is how much you could have made trading this particular trading strategy with trading just breakouts like we trade. So that's about it for today, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, everyone.